Hi guys, so if you have a family member that has or had cancer, you're going to want to take a minute to watch this video. So my mother passed away in 2018 of breast and liver cancer, and I also had a aunt that passed away from breast cancer when I was younger. When I went for a physical last year, I shared this information with my primary care provider. I also shared a couple of other family members that also had cancer in my family. Based off of that information, she suggested that I go and get a genetic test done. Now, I didn't really know what that was. I kind of heard about it before, but I never really got offered to do this. I was completely going in just off of my doctor suggesting it and me just saying, okay. And so all it was is I needed to go and do a saliva sample. Very simple. They send out the sample and I get an email a few weeks later. And I test positive for Brca1 gene mutation. Now, what this means is, let me just clarify, I do not have cancer. I do not have a diagnosis of cancer. Nothing like that. What this means is I carry a gene to where I have a much higher chance to get cancer than someone that does not have this gene. So I have about, I believe it's an 80% chance of getting breast cancer in my lifetime. I do not know the percentage for ovarian cancer, but that is another one. And so the reason for getting genetic testing is because you find out if you have this gene or not. Once you find out, then you are able to, along with doctors, make a preventative plan so that you do not end up getting cancer at some point in your life. So where that led me, I should say, is once I got those results, I needed to follow up and come up with a plan with the doctor. The doctor suggests that I get mammograms and MRIs alternating every 6 months. And I was okay with that for a while, but I wanted more because I do not want I don't want to leave any room for anything to happen. I've been through the experience with my mother, and I don't want to leave any room for anything to come if I have the opportunity to prevent that. And so that was the initial doctor. And then I follow up with another doctor to get a second opinion. And this doctor suggested I get a double mastectomy. And so I decided that I felt comfortable with doing that. That brings my chances down to about 5% chance of getting breast cancer. And to me, it's a no-brainer. To me, that's my personal choice. To me, it's a no-brainer for myself that if I can do this and it brings my chances down this low, I want to take that chance. And so I am still in the beginning stages of my journey. I just found out in August. I've had my mammogram, my MRI. Everything has came back clear, thank God. And now I am set to get my mastectomy. And then I will be having another appointment to talk about the ovarian prevention, ovarian cancer prevention, which that, I don't know what they're going to say, but I will follow up. So I just wanted to document my journey because, like me, I'm just thinking how many people could have, their story could have ended differently if they would have known that this even existed, because I didn't know. So I want to put it out there, and I want to share it with as many people as I possibly can. If you have a family member that has had cancer or has cancer currently, please talk to your primary care provider and tell them your family history and ask for a genetic test. That's it. So I will share my journey, and I'm here. If anybody else is going through this and you need some support, leave me a comment. Anybody that has already gone through this and you have an encouraging word, please share it. All right, that's it.